Hello, Unlimited friends. Today we are going to talk about abundance, the subject of money. A lot of times, money puts a limitation on what we can do and what we cannot do. And when we discover the law of attraction and we start understanding that it is all those times when we think that we can't afford something, that we push money and abundance even further away. So, what should we do? Should we spend money or should we hold back under those conditions? That is the subject of today's discussion. And this question came from Eileen. So, Eileen, thank you very much for your wonderful question. Let's get right into it. Hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com, and I am the author of 12 books on the subject of law of attraction. On this channel, it is my purpose to bring law of attraction to you in easy, understandable ways so that you can start using strategies that are practical to start improving your life. Okay, so let's get to Eileen's question. Eileen, thank you so much for your question. And for those who have not read the question, I'm just going to read it out now. On the subject of money, it is a concern that seeps in and puts limitations on my decisions, and thus doesn't feel good as I know in my heart I have options based on my priorities. So, what should I do? Appreciate your suggestions. Thank you, first of all, Eileen, for your question. And the reason I wanted to take some time to respond is because I've been exactly where you are just now. When we start understanding law of attraction, we feel that we should not think thoughts that are limiting in nature. So, for example, you look at something and then you tell yourself, oh, but I really shouldn't buy that because I don't have the money for it. Then you have another thought that says, but now I understand law of attraction. And understanding law of attraction means that I should not behave in this lackful way. I shouldn't be saying, oh, I don't have enough money. I should trust in the fact that money is on its way, abundance is on its way, because that's what law of attraction teaches. I have to have faith and trust that money is on its way. So you know what? I'm going to prove it to myself. I'm going to take this thing home and then I am going to hand it over to the universe, and I know that the money for it will come. And so you purchase that thing and you bring it home, and now it starts a whole other series of thoughts in your head, thoughts that sound like, okay, did I do the right thing? Should I have brought it home? Maybe I should take it back to the store because I really don't have the money, and I don't know how is the money going to come. When is it going to come? I don't see a way for things to change just now. Maybe I didn't do the right thing. And then what happens as a result is that even though bringing it home was not a bad idea, but now that good idea turns into a bad idea because of the way you're thinking your thoughts. So you take something that is good and you make something bad out of it. You know how we say, oh, if somebody hands you a lemon, make lemon juice, meaning make the best of the situation, right? So in this case, we are not doing that because we are thinking thoughts that take us down the emotional scale. Instead, if we could say, okay, I want this thing, and just now it doesn't feel good, you see? Because if you look at something and it feels like it's too expensive, that doesn't feel good. And then you try and cover it up with saying things like, I know better now and the money is on its way, but it still does not feel good. And in fact, if you bring it home and then you start thinking the way that I was talking before, now you're generating a more negative vibration, and the result of that is not going to be good. So only bring that thing home if you can stay stable in your vibration. Ask yourself, I made the decision to bring this home because I know how the universe operates. So there's no need for me to think about how the money is going to come, because it will. But if your thoughts keep going back to the credit card bill that is going to arrive in the mail, or the balance on your credit card that you already have, then that vibration just becomes magnified. So if that is the case, take that thing back to the store, because returning it will give you relief. And that relief is going to take you up the emotional scale. Understand that if we can maintain our vibration high up on the emotional scale, then only those things will happen in our life. Only those things will manifest that correspond to a good feeling vibration. So if it feels like you don't have enough money, don't step outside your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is to stay within the confines of the money that you have. And I can tell you that I've done it both ways. So earlier on in my law of attraction journey, I've shared with a lot of you that I encountered a lot of limitations with respect to the subject of money. And I made the mistake. I made the mistake of covering it up, spending the money, telling myself it's going to be okay because law of attraction has my back. But law of attraction also is responding to all the beliefs that you have. And one of the biggest beliefs I had was that I don't know how things are going to change. That thought, if you keep repeating it, or maybe, I'm paying interest on this thing now. I put it on my credit card, now I'm paying interest on it. Those are not positive thoughts. So when I thought those thoughts after spending the money, the problem became worse. Money did not come, because that's not how law of attraction works. But I know better now. I know that if I had never thought a negative thought, then the universe would have the opportunity to surprise and delight me. And that is the work. That is the work that we have to do every day. That is the work that we have to do whenever the subject of money comes to mind. In the end, what I did was I stopped using the word money, because I understood, from having been a student of psychology, I understood that every time I use the word money, I activate all the beliefs that I have in my subconscious mind with respect to the subject of money. And because I have not yet shifted all those beliefs, how do I know that I have not shifted them? I know that I have not shifted them because the subject of money is still hard. Because if I had shifted those negative beliefs, then I would no longer have the thought that I should not put something on my credit card. So having that thought is proof that those negative beliefs still exist. And if those negative beliefs still exist, then I should not take action that is contrary, that is in opposition to, that is the opposite of what my belief system is. Because you first have to change the belief before you can take an action that is in opposition to it. Because if you don't shift the belief, then even the good thing that you're setting out to do goes bad. And that is important. That is an important distinction to understand. A bad thing can turn into a good thing because the bad thing happened, but now you're thinking positively about it. And a very good thing can become negative because your now thoughts about it have become negative. That's something that I see people do a lot in their relationships. They start out and everything is wonderful, and the next thing you know, they start finding fault, or they notice something that they don't like in the partner that they've brought into their life, and from there onwards it is downhill. Because unless you can forget about that thing that you did not like and replace that thought with another positive thought, then you cannot improve your vibration. And the same thing applies to the subject of money. You've got to go to the subject of money from a place of feeling good. And unless you feel good, don't do things that will make you feel even worse. I can tell you that I have cut back my spending to a level where I spent nothing, because spending nothing felt better than spending anything. Soup and bread for a whole week, because that felt better than paying for groceries that I did not have the money for, right? So only do those things that you have money for if you are in a situation where money is not flowing easily. Only do those things that you have money for. And if you don't have money for it, don't do it. I once encountered a girl who was only making, she was a bistro at Starbucks, I think, and she was only making $1,200 a month. And her rent was, out of that 1,200, her rent was 700. So she had to run the rest of her life on $500. And then she went and spent $150 on a gift for a friend because she loved the friend and she wanted to make that friend happy. But as a result, now she didn't have the money to pay for her own stuff. How is that helpful? Because all of that positive vibration from giving a gift to a friend that you love, all of that is nullified by the negative vibration that is created because you don't have enough money to pay your own bills. So don't do anything that you cannot afford. Say no. Say no, say later. Not just now, but when I'm ready. Later, when I have what I need. That's when I'll do this thing. Make sense? So Eileen, I hope that that helps you with answering the question that you had. So when you set your priorities about where you need to apply your money, only spend money if you're going to prioritize something and you're going to say, this is really important, I have to do this, then find the money to do this. Cut out on other things. Because honestly speaking, everything is discretionary. You think it's essential, but if it's going to create stress in your life, it is not essential. Sometimes I meet people who are shy of doing things because they're afraid what other people will think, but other people are not going to come and pay your bills for you. So you have to do that which works for you and forget about other people and what they're going to think and say for the period of time that it takes you in order to bring yourself into alignment. And in fact, forever, you should never give any consideration to what other people think. And that is the only way to put yourself back on firm holding with respect to the subject of money. All right, so that's all I wanted to say to you, Eileen, and to everyone else who is listening. Take care. Love you all lots. Questions are welcome. Bring them on because I love answering questions. Bye for now.